Welcome, beautiful star family. I love you so much. Welcome. I'm sitting on my bed, so you might hear some crickety cracks of the old wood. Kind of feels like my bones today. I don't know. There's some interesting energy out and about. So may the 4th be with you, my beautiful Star Wars. We are in a Star Wars, aren't we? Oh, it's so interesting. May the 4th be with you on a Sunday today. I almost wanted to do a Soulful Sunday. I almost wanted to go live. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would be open to doing the Soulful Sunday again. And if you are, please comment below what times work best for you on Sunday so we can try and corroborate, because we have so many of us in different time zones all over the world and in different hemispheres in this family. So for those of you who would like to be present and live for the Soulful Sunday, let me know. It's been coming back into my orbit, so I don't know how it's going to go, if it's just going to be a one-off or something we're going to do on a regular basis, but I've been going through my channels and just a lot of things have been going on. Getting rid of, purging, love spring cleaning, been doing a lot of that. I hope you are as well. And if not, this is a sign from Spirit to start some spring cleaning. It's okay if you haven't done it. This is not about pressure. This is, hey, you want to get that good energy? You want to start something new? Then clean away the clutter. Also today, while I was outside, I was drawn to pick up this old piece of driftwood that I had on our picnic table. And when I turned it over, there was a white moth. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to work with the white moth, spirit animal, spirit medicine, research it, whatever search engine feels good to you, look it up in a book, whatever feels good. But I feel like this is, it's so huge that, a white moth is very rare. So I feel like this is a very important time and very rare energy. I feel like this is a time where you can either look at it like things are happening to you, or you can look at it like things are happening for you. Today I had another thing where, I went to go clean up last night, and Spirit was like, no, it's fine. Like, you don't have to do all that. Like, just go to bed. And so I did. Woke up this morning. What do you think I found? Mouse poops on the altar. Not all over the counter, just in one spot, but because I am who I am, I have to clean everything. And Spirit was like, well, you don't have to. You're choosing to. I'm like, well, I don't know where they were, and so I just want to clean. It just makes me feel better. And I got this vibe that they were like, this is where we need to start separating the old energy and the current energy. Because after I got over the initial angst and anger and frustration about it, because I was like, I'm too fucking tired for this today, really? I was like, took a deep breath, I was like, what the fuck? When I looked down, I saw 17, and that's like at least, for sure the second, but might even be the third time I've seen that today, which is also the number 8. But for some of you, I know the 17 is a very strong number for you. But yeah, I wanted to get mad, but then I started to like just turn it around like a fucking Disney energy, and I was like, whistle while you work, and I smoked some weed and I started to clean, and I wasn't happy, but you know what, everything in front of you has been clean today, and that felt so good. The only thing that hasn't has been the salt, but that was sitting outside for a long time, and I put it up in a cabinet, and so far it doesn't look like anything has bothered it. But I did see a few rips in it, and I couldn't tell if that's from a critter or if that is from something that happened outside. Also, there's a teeny tiny little black spider. Hi. So it's not our buddy, it's not our spider buddy. This is a different spider, but they just wanted to say hello. As you can see, the spider's in here right now as well. We're kind of bopping around a little bit here today. Some of these are wink winks. Some of these are constant reminders. Maybe it's because you haven't researched the medicine, and so Spirit's trying to really push you to research the medicine or to work with the spider spirit. Especially spider is so great because they have so many meanings. They have so many meanings. Okay, so with that being said, I do feel better. And look at, if you've noticed that the drapery is blowing in the wind, they had me move some things around. And you know what? I like this energy better. This feels better. This feels right. Also, I got real gung-ho about doing some things this week, and as much as I wanted to do them, I kept like feeling and getting these signs like to not do it. And I was like, oh, you know, my triple Sag is like, but I want to do it. And my moon in Scorpio, I want to do it now. I want to do it my way. I want to do it right now. And they're like, oh, you can, but it's just a lot of extra work. Do you really want to do all that extra work right now? And I'm like, no, you know, and I could tell that's like my inner child that still wants to control. The ego is coming in, wants to control. And as you see before us today, witches are here to talk to us because, you know, I have plenty of these. I don't have all of them yet. I do have some on my wish list. So if you are wanting to contribute to the tribe in any way, feel free to go to my Amazon wish list. It'll be in the description box, and it's also on this channel where it says, welcome witches, healers, and deep down believers in magic. So I have a feeling eventually I'll probably own all of these decks, because out of my 30 plus, or the 30 plus decks that are in my possession, I would say that it's this series that's definitely one of my favorites. And I do feel like they give us some of the deepest medicine when we need it the most. Last night I was having a really awesome discussion with a fellow light worker, and so many things were coming through. It's interesting how much control keeps coming back. Domination, control, domination, control. And we're seeing it before us because so many things are changing right in front of our eyes. Some people are jumping on board. That's their job. That's their purpose here, to jump on board and jump in and say, nope, I don't fucking think so. Nope, I'm going to push back. Nope, I was put on this earth to be a you know, Democrat, a Republican, a congressman, a senator. I'm speaking for, you know, the United States, but every country has their own judicial or not a judicial system. Some have monarchies. And so there's just a lot of the breaking down of the energies that are going to happen. Also, Spirit brought this awesome person into my orbit, and if you are interested, you may want to take a look. I will put a link below to their channel, but their channel is fucking fascinating, and some of it I remembered from school, and some of it I was like, it's hard to say because something came through recently. Funnily enough, when I was going to the bathroom, I was like, you know, I was just going pee. But anyway, I mean, poop's okay too. But I just, it was like one of those eureka moments. And I don't know about you, but I have a lot of my eureka moments when I'm going to the bathroom. It's like when I'm releasing, right? Because I'm releasing that which no longer serves my mind, body, and soul. And even when I go to the bathroom, I say, thank you, Spirit, for releasing all, you know, the toxins, everything out of my body into this bowl. How lucky am I to be able to go to the bathroom inside, you know, all these blessings. But they've been showing me a lot of stuff. And one of the things that came through recently, and I totally 100% absolutely on board agree with Spirit, because I've witnessed it myself in my 53 years, and because I am what I am and I can see past the fakery and fuckery, I know like what is true or what is not true, even though some people have been made to believe otherwise. And I firmly got this message that there are many people who are part of a group who have been using time travel. Now, just remember that karma is very real, okay? Last night, Spirit had me watch Jumanji, the original one, because it's free on YouTube right now. I'll put a link below if they call me to. And I forgot, number one, how good it is. I haven't watched it from beginning to end in so many years. I mean, seriously, like, it's got to be 20 years, maybe more. And oh my gosh, and Robin Williams, I love him so much. I'm so glad he's on the other side fighting for us. And Bonnie Hunt, she's from Chicago. And so I just was having like all these moments, and even seeing like a young, you know, Kirsten Dunst and is it Kristen Dunst or Kirsten Dunst? But just so many powerful moments in Jumanji, and how we can, if you've never seen the movie, I don't want to give away the ending, but If you have, then you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, we can fuck with shit. That's the free will we have. But it's gonna come back one way or another. I just heard welcome back, Cotter. Welcome back. Right? Your dreams are your ticket out, I think is how the lyrics go. Another thing that if they have me put it below, I will. But if not, these are things for you to research on your own. And wink winks for those who understand. But if you don't, it's no biggie. We are all different age groups in this tribe. We really are. One of our tribe members that I don't know when they joined, but they're like 18 or 19. They may be older now because I don't remember how long ago this was. But anyway, we had an interaction and they were like, I'm so glad I found you. And, you know, and they're from another country. And see, we're making so much progress. It may not seem like it, but we are. It's the small and steady wins the race. Little snail wanted to come back in today. Slow and steady wins the race. Instant gratification, you'll end up with pie on your face. Whatever. Just came through. Oh, that's so funny. I saw this thing with a clown yesterday and I was like, not interested. Please don't put that. It was some tarot reader that was a clown, but it was freaky as fuck and I was not into it. But again, it's probably something people are like, oh, face it. I'm like, no, I don't want to face it. There's something connected with that demonic side. A happy, joyful clown. I used to really not like clowns at all. And I had like a thing around it until one of my shamans that I worked with, they are a clown. And we were at this event where everybody had to come, you know, whatever they had to dress in whatever they wanted to be burned or buried in. It was a Samhain. Speaking of Seasons of the Witch, it was a Samhain event. I'll just take that out because we're gonna start pulling cards anyway. And ooh, that's pretty. I'm like, I want to take a picture of that. I wanted to take a picture with the book, or with the deck, but I feel like they want me to leave it like that. Nice. But anyway, long story short, that's the first time I found out that they were a clown. And I was like, why? I'm like, why? Like, I couldn't understand. I'm dressed like a fucking black, dark vampire goddess, like from the underworld in all black and like big red lips. And, you know, I think my hair was red at the time too. And I just seriously looked like, I mean, some of my friends that never knew me from that, like saw me from that point of view were like, holy shit, like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, they're like, no, you look like Maleficent or something. They're like, that's amazing. But anyway, I digress. I throw a little, you know, accolades at myself because I'm about to give myself a nice makeover and glow up, and I suggest you do the same. I've only leaked to one person what color I'm doing my hair, and you know who you are, because I was like, oh man, I was just so grateful, you know, because I was thanking them for the donations, for all the readings I've been doing lately. Thank you. And thank you to all of you guys for your prayers and your donations. All of my information's here if you'd like, if it's in your wheelhouse to do so. Thank you so much. We appreciate that, Spirit and I, because it just goes back into the work that I do and into the progress that I make to help you. But yeah, anyway, so, you know, there were like 30 people there or 31, I believe. No, I think it was 30. 31, I always want to go to that because of the witch in me. For 13 in reverse. However, I digress and say that I seen things that I've never seen before. I saw a person that was like half goat, half man, and I still to this day don't know how he did that. So there's just always going to be this part of me that's like, holy shit, was he being his real self? I saw some crazy shit. But when she was there as a clown, I was just like, it threw me for a loop. I would have never in a million gazillion years pictured them as a clown. Never. However, she was so cute. She was the cutest clown I'd ever seen. She was like if Rainbow Bright was a clown. You know, even like her like fake afro, which was so big and beautiful, was like the most pretty pastel rainbow. She was like pastel rainbow colors too, like not like harsh, like in your face, like primary colors. She was just soft and fluffy, like a human fucking cotton candy snow cone surprise. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh dude, I can see why. And so like when you know, she dresses up and goes to parades and stuff. She plays with kids. And I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. She's like, yeah, because, you know, there's all different types of clowns. So this one was like a scary fucking clown. And I realized that like there's something demonic about a scary clown. And I had a friend who did scary, and he was like the sweetest, funniest guy. But he felt like that was like his outward. So I feel like they're having me share all this clown medicine with you, because maybe you're going through something like that. You know, maybe they want you to face, maybe you do have a fear of clowns or a fear of something that they want you to face and look at. Because today, I don't know how they're going to have me put the title, right? Because I haven't done it yet. But I do know that today is the first quarter moon. May the 4th be with you. And the first quarter moon is about taking action. And I asked Spirit to give me some signs. I think 432 hertz is the energy they want us to work with. I'll put it in the description box. And if they have me put it in the comments, I'll put it there as well. And that's for you to research on your own, unless they have me send you a piece, you know. But again, it's never like, oh, do this one. It's like, if you're drawn to that one, you may not like it, but it may also, if you click on it, it may take you somewhere else to like maybe the next one. You're like, oh, I like this one, or 5 more, or down, you know, whatever. That's between you and Spirit, how you want to do that. But that was the first thing that came through. And then there were all these different music things that were coming through, and I didn't make a mistake, but I called you guys in early, and I don't do that all the time because you're all so damn powerful. 1624 and then 1625. 1624 felt like an angel number. 1625 felt like ages. So it could be something that's coming back from when you were 16. It could be a mirror of 61. Same for 25. So with that being said, I heard a lot of different things. I had to keep asking my pendulum, is this about me and my partner, or is this about somebody else? So like, you know, and it was like this thing about money, and, you know, it's a trust fall, baby, right? And the pink, sorry, I'm trying to start with her really high voice right now. Again, we'll put it below. If not, research it on your own. But that's what this whole thing is the trust fall. Because when the party's over, I can lie, say I like it like that, like it like that. That's from Billie Eilish, right? Can't you see I'm no good for you? Right? There's a lot of lyrics in there that are really powerful for our tribe right now, because we've been talking about releasing and letting go for a while. So now I feel like Spirit's like, it's time to take action, because a week from tomorrow on the 12th is the full moon in Scorpio. Okay, so today's Sunday, May 4th, but a week from Monday, the 12th, whenever you watch this, they're timeless, of course. But I am getting this really big vibe that between the 4th to the 12th, something major is something needs to be let go. If not, at least starting to talk about it and getting the ball in motion, okay? You have big dreams to make in the new moon in Gemini, and the air sign, just sending it out into the world. Listen to the air today, the wind. I really wanted to mow the grass today. Like, I've been trying to go on a cycle when I'm mowing the grass with the moon cycles, because I was like, this is kind of cool. If I do it like once a week, it coincides, and I like that release of the energy and cutting of the grass and connecting, you know, even with the flowers. I'm like, bye dandies, you know, I'm bye daisies. I'm sorry. I'm like, but I have to cut the grass. If this was my grass, I'd let you grow free. But anyway, they were like, no. And now I can tell. I'm like, it's really windy out today. It's not super fun to mow the grass. It's actually in the 50s today, and it's been in the 60s and sunny. And even though it's sunny, it has that kind of like cloudy overcast where it's like a high of 58, where if you stand in the sun, it's warm, but when the breeze hits you, it's like, whew, it's kind of chilly, you know? That's the energy I'm feeling. Also, I'm hearing that it's time for someone to take better care of their teeth. There's something going on with your teeth. Maybe you want to do some like a coconut oil pull, or I'm hearing like maybe you're just too harsh. I feel like either you're getting your teeth whitened, or you're using like chemicals, or even if you're doing it naturally with baking soda. I'm just getting this vibe like it's too harsh on your teeth. Take it easy on your teeth, okay? I had to have that happen to me once, because I had fallen into this OCD thing when I was losing control. and I started brushing my teeth, and I had this obsession with being clean. Everything had to be clean. I had to, clean something so many times. I had that kind of OCD. I had that whole thing. I understand it if you do, and it's time to let it go. It's part of control. It's okay. It's also part of security and safety, and there's nothing wrong with you. You're beautiful and lovely, and I love you just as you are, so does Spirit. This is no shade whatsoever. Never, never, never. No shade. This is they're concerned about your mental, physical, and emotional health. Okay? And some of us are feeling drained, and they're like, if you're feeling drained, there's a reason for it. People, places, things. Also, when I first put this together, I wanted to make it so lovely and like super decluttered. I wanted this clear, clean energy because that's what felt good to me. And then one thing after the other, things just kept going on and on and on. I'm turning the light on so you can see. It was like another thing, and then another thing, and another thing. And I was like, I feel like Spirit's saying, you don't need all of this. Declutter your space so that you can fly free. Okay? Like, she should be able to move around, and she's not being able to move around. And Spirit's saying, it's time. Oh, that's right. I heard, it's time for me to fly. I heard that before it started. Time for me to fly. I love listening to music before we start these because so much comes through, and I feel like they're messages for you. So declutter your space. Let it go. And for some of you, I'm feeling like you need to actually look at it first. Don't just throw things away. Look at it. Ask yourself why. Why am I getting rid of this? Why is it, you know what I mean? Like, use your pendulum if you need to. The pendulum is a great asset to when you're working with Spirit. It can help you get past the human bullshit. Just make sure that you keep your pendulum and your space cleansed. And maybe this was a message for you guys today. And for me, I mean, I did just clean all this stuff, but where I live, it's like having the windows open all the time. It does get dirty. It gets cluttered. It gets messy. And they want us to continue to keep cleaning and taking care of our space. Also, when you're not taking care of things, it's an easy way to fall into a depression. So make it a fun game, put some music on, do whatever you want to do. What really upset me is the altar was similar to this, not as busy because I had a lot of it in, it's on the other side of the room, in my grandma's tray, my perfume tray from my grandma. I had a lot of the crystals in there, but because where the poops were, I'm like, I couldn't tell where they walked. So I ended up literally submerging my crystals in warm water. Now make sure that you know which ones can be in water because there are all the ites. I don't know if prehnite can, but I didn't look it up, but I was like, I know the ites. Like this is a blue calcite. This is a honey calcite. This is a rainbow calcite. Like those are not meant for water. Green calcites, certain things, they will melt. The selenites back here behind Ted, the unicorn. Also, I'm wearing my unicorn shirt today. My unicorn wanted to be in here. So work with unicorn energy. Work with lavender. Real lavender, though, not the fake shit. The real lavender, okay? It's very calming. Lavender essential oil is really nice to put behind the nape of your neck when you're going to sleep. If some of you, I love cannabis, I love, certain things, but when I don't want to have a lot of cannabis, I just use lavender oil. It's so soothing. I put it on my wrists, my temples, my forehead. I breathe it in. Working with the scents and smells really do help and go a long way. Also, right now, I heard Spirit told me to make a little potion, a little water potion to spray on the altar. And right now I am soaking black whole peppercorns and what's in there? Fresh lavender and red pepper flakes. So I am actually soaking that in water and letting that, and I'm shaking it up every so often too. You can put it in the sun. And then you just strain it really good. and you put it like through one of those like mesh strainers, so you only get the liquid, and then put it in a spray bottle and spray it around. If you don't want ants, you don't want certain bugs, you don't want spiders, if you don't want them in certain areas of your house, you can put like that type of concoction. You can research your own concoction if you don't like those scents yourself, but there are, ways of keeping them at bay. I've been seeing a lot of things lately of people doing the borax in the soap. It's really gross. It actually, kills them, and it's a very painful way to die. And people think, oh, it's just an ant. You know what? It's a living thing. So I do my best not to hurt them either, but I had gotten lazy with mine too. I've been finding dead ants around. It makes me sad because I'm like, shit, because I have like raw garlic around. I have, so the mice are only getting so far, but man, I'm telling you, these mice out here, they have like superpowers or something, because the stuff that I've been putting around, I have no, like, I don't know how they're doing it. I literally don't. I'm like, they have like superpowers. So I'm like, okay, what do I do now? But I also feel like Spirit was trying to show me that I needed to move things around. I need to take care of things. Things need to be taken care of. And when we don't take care of things, Spirit will find a way to make sure that we do. Also, the white moth is coming back into play right now, so I'm not sure who that's for. Okay. So some of the lyrics of, oh boy. Oh, listen, that's from Spirit. Yeah, that's yep, we're on the right path. I love it. So in this taking action energy, from when the party's over, now I'm jumping around lyrics. They just had me write down a few lyrics. I know the song, but I don't know exactly in formation. But even if I did, I get the vibe. This is what they want me to talk about. Is that we're in the 4th day of May. May is the 5th month of the Gregorian calendar, and number 5s are about change and transformation. So today in real time, so today is 5, it's May, right? And then the 4th, that's a 9. Then it's 2025. So if we add the 2, 9 and 2 is 11. Then we add another 2, 12, 13. Then the 5 is 18, and it comes out to a number 9. So a little trick about this year of the 9 and 2025, whatever the number comes out to this is what I've been coming up, that's what I've been seeing, is what it'll be like. Tomorrow is the 5th, so it'll be the 10th, which is right, because 9, if you add 9 and 5, it's 14, and then if you add another 5, it's 14, that's 19, and that would be a 10 or a 1. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like today is like the ending of something, and they're trying to show us that like a brand new beginning is going to come into play tomorrow, because it's 5/5/2025. And what's really powerful is in 3 weeks from today, it'll be 5/25/2025. So all these numbers, they mean something. The numerology, they bring us things. But that's why this 9 is exciting, but also feels a little uncertain. I know for myself, right before this started, 28/18, right before this started, I saw this thing where it was all over the news that, and I don't know anymore, right? Like I have to like really decipher and sit down with Spirit to figure it out, because there's so much fakery and fuckery. But I saw this thing that said, does Trump believe in the Constitution or something like that? Now I'm paraphrasing. And he said, I don't know. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a big thing, because the whole point of being sworn in to being the president of the United States is like, you swear your hand on the Bible, and you're here to support the Constitution. Now listen, I'm all about taking religion out of politics, because when I was putting together my altar, I like to, I was refreshing the money. I like to keep money on there. I don't have a 50 or 100, or else I would put it on there, but I like to keep money on my altar, and then I bless it and do all these things with it, and then I send it back into the universe. But it says on there, "In God we trust." But if this is supposed to be a country that has no religious, whatever, then in a way, then he's doing his job, and he's right. And maybe that's the whole point, is we need to take religion out of it. But where is the fine line between God and spirit? That's another thing right now, because there's so many like things broken up of like, you know, who's right, who's wrong. When I was being raised, my mom was like, what do you mean? There is no other. It's like, if you're not a Christian, you're going to hell. It's just that simple. Like my mom would say it like that, like it was, you know, the Bible, right? Like it was the truth. And that was the truth to her, my family, my, you know, the way we were raised and stuff. And I feel like somebody wants to see this, or maybe it's meant for somebody to see. But I just got this, ooh, look at that rainbow. But I just got this vibe from spirit that, you know, we need to let this all unfold the way it's meant to. We may not like it. We may not like the messenger, but what's that old saying? Don't shoot the messenger. Everybody has a purpose and a path and a place here on earth right now. Every single one of us, even the ones we don't believe what they're doing. Now, there's other things that are like really like messed up, I believe, that are going to get me even deeper into shit, is because he did a fake picture of him as the Pope. And these things, like, he may think he's trying to be funny or whatever, but it's like, you know, people take their politics as seriously as they take their religion. This isn't a fucking TV show. This isn't, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't a reality show. This is real fucking life for a lot of people. So I believe we're, you know, this is the year of the snake, right? I don't know what's going to happen, because so many people predicted that he was going to be out of office by the end of March, but he's still there. So I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I've been trying to stay as far removed from that as possible. Spirit has been like pulling me to stay as far removed from that as possible, but then they'll dip me in for something like that to talk about. So it's either to plant a seed, you know, for you, or it's for you to have knowledge of it because maybe you don't pay attention at all. Whatever it is, maybe it's for us to pray about it. Whatever it is, they're having me inject this in for a reason, for a purpose. There always is. So with that being said, in the lyrics, it says, once we've said our goodbyes, let's just let it go. Let me let you go. And then it's, you know, I can lie, say I can like it like that. I can like it like that. Or I like it like that. And then I got from Spirit that May is all about, yes, change and transformation, but it's also about new earth. Okay? And for us to look at things like one step, one breath, one moment at a time. See, if you look at the rest of my calendar, I got a lot of stuff coming up. I got a lot of things on there, but next week I don't have a lot of things on the calendar. And it's interesting. I don't know why. I mean, things will probably be written on there just like this was today, but this felt very, I don't know how to explain it. Give me the word, Spirit. Also, this is for somebody too. I feel like this is, if you're like, is that a bead? It's like, yes, it is. I feel like it's time for you to start making things again. So if you're a crafter, I'm also getting like, it feels like somebody's poking me, but like with a needle. So it could be somebody who sews. It could be somebody who creates. I don't know. But either way, I'm getting this like, use this grounding Taurus energy, you know. I have both a love affection for Gemini energy, because it's, you know, my beloved's, you know, set up as well. He's a triple Gemini and his moon's in Sag, and I'm a triple Sag and my moon's in Scorpio. So like, we're each other's polar opposites. He's the sun, I'm the moon, all that good stuff. But I have a hard time, because sometimes the Gemini energy can really blow some shit out of proportion. It can get really messy, and it can get, yeah, just blown out of proportion. So if you're going to graduation parties, or you're, you know, if you're still connected with your third dimensional family and you're still going to those things, I'm hearing from Spirit over the next several weeks and several months for some of you, there may even be for some of you where you're going to go to something and you're going to have an aha moment, and you're going to be like, I can lie, say I like it like that, like it, you know, where they're like, do you want to drink? And you're like, no, I don't drink anymore. Or you're like, oh, I don't eat that kind of food anymore. No, I'm not going to eat anything here. I'm you know, whatever. You know, because it's kind of like drinking and eating from the poison fruit. Like, you know, if you're like, oh, I just go, even though my parents don't eat organic and they blah, 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 like I just eat when I go there because it'll upset my mom or, you know, whatever. It's like, this is when it's going to start getting very fucking real. Where you have to stand up for who you are and what you believe in and say, I don't want to put that toxic shit in my body. I don't want to, you know, today I was feeling kind of rough and I had gotten this one, you know, flavor of chips that I don't normally get. And I was like, you know, do I want those? And I was like, and sometimes I forget or I conveniently omit from my memory something in there. And when I was eating them, I'm like, oh, these are so good. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. They have sugar in them. That's why I never get this flavor, because they have sugar in them. Now, it's mostly honey. It's a honey mustard flavor, but there is some sugar. It says honey straight away in there because they're natural and whatever. But like, I was like, damn it. I'm like, sugar is just not my friend. It's kind of like putting, you know, kryptonite near Superman. You know, obviously, and depending on how much, like a little bit I can handle, but if I have too much, and I had some last night because I was craving something sweet, but I didn't want to, like, I was like, I don't want any more raisins, or I don't want, like, and I was making this blueberry thing, and I was like letting it rest, and I'm like, no, I'll have some of those tomorrow. And I was like, ooh, I'll have some of those chips. Wrong move. Not super smart. Not super smart. But I was meant to, right? Because here I am talking to you about it. We all fucking slip up. We all are like, fuck it, I just want to do it. I don't care. I'll be all right. I'm strong. I can handle it. I can do it. No, we can't. Not always. Not always. I had some weird, crazy ass, I don't know what was going on. I don't know if I was astral traveling or if I was in subconscious city, but I was working hardcore last night in my dreams. I got the vibe from spirit to eat a lot because I was like, oh, I probably won't do these readings, you know. And the day of the readings, I don't eat anything. I just have water until the session. And I think I started this somewhere around 1-ish or 2-ish. I don't remember now. But in the afternoon. And I was feeling peckish and I was like, it's because that's sugar. If I'd eaten what I was like drawn to eat instead of eating what I wanted, I could have just as easily had a little bit of tea with coconut sugar and my body, I would have enjoyed it. It would have satiated that need. But no, I wanted that. It's like I wanted to poison myself. And it's not poison, right? It's not going to kill me, but it's definitely going to make me weaker and not my true self. I thought I was doing picker readings today. So either I read it wrong or they're like, no, your body can't handle that today. Isn't that interesting, right? So we have to listen to ourselves. We have to listen to our higher self. Your higher self is begging to be heard right now and is begging for you to listen and understand that we don't operate like other beings here. We have a much higher plan, a much higher purpose. If you found yourself here, there's a reason for it, my dear. So with that being said, we are going to pull a few cards. Spirit, do you have any advice for us? Oh, I always like to see what's on the bottom. Witch, number 43, which is also number 7. Witch. I was going to say, if it doesn't come into focus, then it's not our medicine. Grab hold. Allow the dwelling fire within belly. Awaken all that is. A mere glimpse, a delicate pull at the very roots, living in the alchemy of self. And look at that other card, how it says, it looks like it says her, and then I can't see the other one, ner, not, or rot. Something, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, so, do we have any further guided messages to aid us in the ones that you already provided for us today? Also, while I'm shuffling, Spirit, do we have any channeled messages that you'd like to bring through? Is there any beautiful star family from this? I called upon so many energies. I called upon the 4 corners, so to speak, of the archangels and the as above, so below. So we definitely have all those energies in, but I'm feeling feeling like this doesn't want to be seen right now. So for right now, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I don't think it's, there we go. All right. Okay. Okay. I was like, are we doing a picker reading right now? Okay. Do we want to do any form of a picker reading right now? Okay. Do you want me to pull more cards before I bring that one forward? Okay. Just as it is. Okay. Just as it is. Oh, they were very serious about that. So when the card's in reverse, that's spirit telling us that our intuition is off. And if your intuition is off, it's because you're not listening to yourself. You're listening to other people. Number 23. You hold the answers. You know the truths. Ancient ones await behind the doors of the mind. Wow, that's powerful. Intuition. Intuition. And I'm from the book Indeed. Okay. I was like, all right, what's going on? Intuition. You've been hearing the wind chimes. Okay, so the keywords are feeling, inner sight, and visualization. Do these have a reverse? Oh, they do. That's right. They do. I was going to say, I think this does have a reverse meaning. That's why. Okay, so let's start there. I always like to do both because we get medicine and messages from both. So in reverse, it says, when intuition is in reverse, you may be spending too much time in the clouds. Deepening your intuition is an important step, but don't spend every moment visualizing without taking any action. I love it. Today's about taking action. I love when they do that. Spending too much time working on your I saw a motivation. Spending too much time working on your motivation. So that's a message for somebody because I saw it clear as day. And then it's like it melted away and I saw intuition behind it. So, okay, so that's for somebody. Spending too much time working on your intuition without grounding can leave you feeling disconnected from your day-to-day life. This message is even more profound if you have also pulled the Rooted card or feel called to read it. Isn't it funny that I said that I felt like I saw those words there and I was like, is that rot? I'm like, and I wonder if that was, I couldn't tell. So we'll have to see, but I saw Rooted too in my mind. So let's see if any other cards come through. Not yet. They want me to read the upright. Okay, so drink some water. Let's take a break. And they're having me ring a bell, so just gonna clear the air. It's like the wind chime was like, I feel jealous. Okay, that's the fairy bell. So I feel like that's a message for some of our fairies there. Clear the energy, clear the stagnant energy. It's also on page 107. We've been talking about 17. Okay, so this says, you hold the answers. You know the truths. Ancient ones await behind the doors of the mind. Intuition is one of your superpowers that you come into this life with to help you navigate the human experience. Intuition is something that you feel rather than think or see and cannot be perceived with the rational mind. Within those feelings, you will find answers for everything, from what to eat to whether you should go on that date to who you can trust. Your intuition is always on 100%, offering you wisdom and guidance in the form of how you feel. Also, I'm hearing for some of you, unfortunately, because you're empaths and you're feeling from emotion, you think that it's the right thing, or that's where the confusion is lying, where you're like, my intuition, but it's like because you're emotional, you're too tied to it emotionally, right? Like I had a little breakthrough with my chip thing yesterday, which is why I was meant to do all this, right? And it's okay, because sometimes I'm like, I feel like I go through pain and suffer for you. One time, one of you guys said that to me. You're like, I contribute to you and I donate money to you because I want you to be able to give yourself what you need when you need it, you know, because it's not always about Dexter. Like sometimes you need to like take care of you because you are too concerned about taking care of everybody else. And, you know, it made me realize, yes, that's when my intuition is the most skewed. And yesterday, like I felt like my gut was telling me don't eat those fucking chips, but it was like something overrode it, right? And what it was an emotional connection. And I was watching Jumanji. I was going back and you know what I mean? Like, so when we're going through these depths, sometimes Okay, so this is going to blow your fucking mind, okay? Now, I want you to take this with soul knowledge and not with ego, because it's going to be very, very important that you do. So take a minute, take a breath, take 2 or 3, pause this video if you need to get more grounded, close your eyes, if it's safe to do so. But I want you to think about what I'm going to say. When we're more grounded like this, we can make better choices. Sometimes our intuition and our wants and our needs conflict with each other, because where we come from is not the human experience. We don't have to question things. We don't have to talk to each other. We don't have to, we just know. Do you ever have a conversation with a friend without even talking to each other? Because you're connected on that level. Or maybe it's a significant other, family member, your pet, your familiar, however that aligns with you. But emotional tie, listen how my voice got crackly, right? The emotional ties. I needed to have a good cry today before I started this. I felt so fucking ungrounded, unglued, and it felt like nothing I could do. And I realized it's because I called you guys in early. That was not a mistake, but it made me realize like how much I needed to have a good cry too. And something came through with Bubba, of course, right? And I just fucking lost my shit. The other day, I felt my throat chakra getting really tight, and Spirit wanted me to work through something, and I just kept looking away from it. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to see it. And my music's on shuffle, and what song comes on but Shiny by Sarah Bareilles, and it's a love song to her mom. Oh, it's gonna make me cry, right? You need to cry. You need to get that out. Maybe some of you need to have that conversation. Maybe you need to stop talking to your mother, and it's so hard and it's so difficult. You're like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I'm like, I didn't know how to do it either. You just do it. You just do it. My mom and I both know. I know in my heart that she knew in her heart that was the last time we were ever going to speak. And of course, when that song came on, I was like, oh, Mom. I'm like, Mom, I'm starting to cry now, right? Because it wasn't always all bad. I know. So we have to release that part of our memories and look at the happy part. Especially the part where she talks about her doing dishes at the sink. I was the youngest. When my brother and sister went off to school, I was with my mom for a long time without them there. And my mom was bored. She doted on me. I was really smart and quick. So, we had a different relationship from the time I was 5. Right? It's the same for you guys. There's something there. You have to let it go. There's something with family. It could be a father, but I'm feeling a very maternal energy right now. I had no idea this was going to come through. And then there's this part in the song where she's like, wait, you call him Sunday. Not usually, but for a long time, my mom or myself would call each other on Sundays if we didn't talk any other time during the week, just to kind of catch up. We talk about the weather and stuff, right? The random shit. But I can lie and say I like it like that, And I just was like, Mom, I don't want to talk about the fucking weather anymore. I want to talk about what's happening. She wouldn't let me. The Bible, that was her truth. There was no other way. I had to let her go. Because this is my job, this is my path, this is my purpose. If I can't talk about my life purpose with my own mother, then I don't have a fucking relationship with her. She was dead before she died. Oh gosh, when I looked down, all I saw was 49, and I think I saw 40. Because 49 is also the number 13. But it comes down to the number 4, and it's about balance. It's about having that strong foundation. If we don't have this strong foundation with people anymore, our intuition is skewed. Everything is fucking skewed. And I hope you cried too, because we all need it. We need to release and let that energy go. One of my amethysts wanted to, it's like hugging my phone. It's like holding my phone up. And so is the bell, my Egyptian bell, but the one that's made in England. So I feel like, it's time. It's time. That channel that I said I want to, that I'm going to put in the description box was about geography. It was talking about Earth itself and between science and history and all these things. It's fucking fascinating. It's really, really fascinating. And I think that's the kind of education we really need right now. Not this bullshit and the fakery and the fuckery of look at the monkey and the same shit we've been dealing with forever. But even that, let him run America like a fucking reality show. Let him run it into the ground. Because the truth is, we're one of the youngest countries and we act like fools. And other people in other countries are trying to be like us. Don't fucking try and be like us. Right? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about. This country was, and a lot of countries actually, they were raped and pillaged and taken over, time in, time out. Earth has been a training ground and a training school for so many millennia. It's ridiculous. There's been many religions, many belief systems. It's time to tear it all down. It's time to see past that bullshit and what does your fucking heart tell you? Stop asking other people, what does your heart tell you? Now, sometimes I get it. You're you need some guidance. Right? That's why I do these things. We do these things together. I look at readings and spiritual guidance too. But you know what I do? Or you know what I don't do? I'll start there. What I don't do is I don't look at readings or spiritual guidance when I am ungrounded, because my energy will take me to the wrong reading at the wrong time at the wrong place and just exasperate my story and give it a fucking, recently I had this discussion with Alder and I asked him something that's been going back and forth and back and forth. Did he, didn't he? Did he, didn't he? And I could tell, I just knew, my intuition told me he was telling me the truth. But I want to believe that he's lying. I want to believe because then I can stay, then I don't have to change either. Then I don't have to accept things. Then I don't have to, you know what I mean? We are not fucking perfect. None of us are perfect. And especially the light workers, the earth angels, we incarnated in human form here. And a lot of us incarnated into families that were fucked up or in situations that were something that would be put in a fucking made for TV movie or a blockbuster film. So many of you, I remember so many of you that when we had our initial readings, either in this lifetime or other lifetimes, I'm like, holy shit, you sustained some of the harshest conditions. No wonder why you have fucking PTSD, OCD, all of these, situations, fibromyalgia, all of these situations that you've told yourself, I'm sick, I'm not well, I'm not well. Well, yeah, because if you keep saying you're not well, then you don't have to participate. You can get money from the government. You can, whatever. I can't take care of myself. Oh yeah, look, my doctor says I can't take care of myself. Then you live small and you live on a budget. You live hidden away. You run away. Insert your story here. That's just one that came right out naturally. So, and these are the lies. This is the bullshit. This is what they're trying to show us. This is what they're trying to tell us. The unicorn is pointing their horn towards us, saying they are here to protect us and defend us, but we have got to fucking fight for ourselves. We have got to get grounded. And right now, this is one of my favorite times ever. Because, every single zodiac also has a house. We are in the second house. But we are in the 5th month. And it's also about the pentacle energy. And about materialism and all that. Spring, we want to make our home good. We want to make our home comfortable. This is the time to get rid of stuff. Stop looking at things or sitting on furniture or whatever it is, furniture, you know, like that don't align with us anymore, that don't work. You know, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful to the African American community, but like one of my favorite spirit guides is, I don't know if you guys ever saw Gone with the Wind, but it's Butterfly McQueen, and oh my gosh, I can't think of her name right now, Mammy, but there's this line in it where she says, it just ain't fitting, right? She's saying like, it's not proper, it's not right, it's just not right. But that was the languaging that she used, right? Because this was back during the Civil War, and she was African American, right? And she was a slave, even though they treated her like family and loved her like family, she was still a slave. They couldn't protect her or help her, or, you know what I mean? Like, she was still their property. How fucked is that? How fucked is it that anybody is anybody's property? Shit has to change. There is still slavery all over the world. There are still horrible, horrible, horrific things happening all over the world. Things have to change. Governments have to break down. Lines have to change. Lines have been drawn. You know, we have a lot of work to do. So how can we help others if our own house is not clean? And the way to get to that is being rooted and grounded in our energy. So we are in Taurus moon, the first quarter moon of the Taurus moon, in the Taurus energy. Soon it will be moving to the Gemini energy, even though the Taurus moon will remain. But as of now, when we are grounded, it's like in the springtime. This is the time for us to really set that foundation. We had January, February, March, April. Now we're in that time of change and transformation to let go of that stuff. Move forward. Work with the snake energy. And get rid of and purge people, places, and things that no longer suit who you are in this moment, in this time. It got to the point where I was like, Spirit, I need to color my hair because I don't know, like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm beautiful. I love myself the way I am. But I don't feel like I'm looking at myself. I don't know how to explain it any other way. Then today I was cleaning my brush, and I tend to clean my brush. I try to do it every week so it doesn't accumulate, and you know, but no matter how clean your hair is, our brushes get dust and our hair gets dust and our brushes get gross. And so I hadn't cleaned my brush, I think, in a few weeks. And when it's really windy like this, I like to clean my brush and just hold my hand up into the wind and let it take my hair, because birds love making nests out of human hair. It's very comfortable, it's very warm, it's very cozy. So when you're cleaning your brush on a windy day, or if you see it a really, really windy day, and do that, the birds will thank you. But when I was pulling it out, I was like, shit, it must have been a few weeks. And I was like, I want to see this in the sun. So I looked at a bunch of my hair in the sun, and I was like, what is happening? My hair, no wonder why I don't feel like me. My hair is going through such a change and transformation. I haven't colored my hair now, and it'll be 3 years in June since I colored fully colored my hair. In fact, I had bleached my hair because I wasn't sure what color I was going to do next, but I wanted to at least bleach it because that's when we left Big Camper, remember? And for those of you who've been with me a long time, you know. So I didn't want to burden myself with like a grow out. So I thought, well, I'll just bleach, because I think my hair was pink, but it was like fading. So I'm like, I'm just going to like get rid of this. I'm going to bleach it out and then like let my natural hair grow in. And it did. And it was all different shades and ombre, and I didn't mind it. It was fine. But when I was looking at it in the sun, it was almost like, who the hell am I? There was red in there. There was blonde in there. There was gray in there. There was tinsely sparkly in there. It was like, it was crazy. It was like so cool. And I was like, cool, I can't wait to see like what color my hair is going to be. But I feel like until my hair grows out more into my crone, I'll probably stay more coloring my hair. But I got excited knowing that that's to come. And I look forward to that. If I am blessed to grow, you know, older, I believe I will. But I just realized that, you know, to everything turn. That's why we're using the seasons of the witch, and why it was just seasons and it wasn't about the Samhain, Samhain, if you don't know, right? It's not about the time of year, although we're about 6 months away from Samhain. We're just a few days and 6 months away from Samhain, right? But it's about the seasons and the changing, and that, like, right, the crystal ball, and not knowing too much about the future. It's, it's okay before we needed to know, because people, even now, you see so many people are like, my so-and-so killed themselves, so-and-so killed themselves, because people, if they don't believe in something, right now is when you really have to have a belief system, because those are the people who are checking out, because they're just like, I don't know, but if there's nothing after this, I'd still rather have nothing than live in this crazy chaos, Or some people are hopeful that there is something after this, and they're like, I don't want to stay here. You don't go to hell. You don't go to HE double hockey sticks if you kill yourself. It's just like, you just, some people will go right back into another avatar. Some people will go back into spirit and, you know what I mean, learn their lessons and move on. It's going to be different for everybody. But the fear is not a luxury we can afford. And I said that also to Alder recently. I said, we don't have the luxury to be complacent or complicit or any of those words or those energies right now. We don't have the energy. It's not, we have a path and purpose, and it's just not meant, like, this is what we're meant to do. End of story. So each of you has your own story and your own journey. You'll know what to do. You know what I mean? Just because I feel like we're all at the same level of consciousness, or we're all at the same place in our journey, doesn't mean that we are. Your story is your story, and I'm not going to tell you how to move, forward or past it. I only tell you information that Spirit wants me to put out, right? So the rest of this says, you are being asked to develop your second sight further when you are holding the intuition card. Okay, so sorry, let me read that better. You are being asked to develop your second sight further when you're holding the intuition card. You must learn to navigate the world through your spiritual GPS rather than relying on your rational mind to show you the way, right? Because that's the third dimensional energy. That's the human. There's no fucking rationality now. You have to remember that this place is a magical place. But people like the American president and other people on this planet, in places of power, have used it to, why do you think they wouldn't let you use magic or witches? And they realized that they could conform these religions to help people stop thinking for themselves, to stop believing in magic, right? Because if you don't believe in the magic, then it doesn't exist. If you believe that you're in this catalytic society of you need, this conformist energy, oh, I want to be like everybody else, right? But it's bullshit. That's the fakery and the fuckery. What we're doing is the real truth of Earth. What they believe is what they were programmed to believe for so many dimensions, and we are the fucking ancestor breakers. We are the breakers, the tie breakers, the mold makers, you know what I mean? The mold breakers. We're breaking the old molds and building new ones. So you're doing yourself and your family and those around you a disservice by lingering on further. They will either find their way back to you, you will find your way back to them, or it won't. Do you understand? They had me put that there by the butterfly wing to show you, we are winged, we are special, we come from a place, and if you're not an earth angel, then you're a light worker and you have a place here. And you're vital and important. We're all vital and important. Every single one of us has a place and a purpose. This isn't a hierarchy system. This is just about the evolutionary process of humanity and on the planet right now, what's going on in the age of Aquarius. That's it. It's just that simple. And they want to make it more difficult, or they want to stress people out and make them think that it's not, but it's exactly where it's supposed to be. That's why they had me turn the light on too, by the way. Put a little light on the subject, right? Because they're learning from you. You're the leaders. I'm the leader. You're the leader. I have told you guys time and time again, if you're new here, my job is to open the minds, the hearts, and the souls of the healers. I'm the healer for the healers, meaning I'm a leader, you're a leader, but I'm just here to remind you who you are. That's it. I may be a little further along my path because that's my purpose here. But you're a leader too. You're the leader of your tribe. You're the leader of your people, of your, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you're meant to do X, Y, and Z. It's your own story. Insert your story here. But this is my path and purpose. This is what I'm meant to do. And like I've said before, I could have paid 100 times over to have this channel be hundreds of thousands of people and I could be living in a fucking anywhere I want. There are so many readers that I know that they make literally, like, one of them, she shares it with us. So because she's like, there, you know, you could do this too. And she literally makes like about $12,000 to $13,000 a month, right? For doing her YouTube channel. That is her path and her purpose. Mine will come when it's time. I had karma and shit that I had to clear out. I had stuff that I had to do that, you know, and now I can see it. It's coming together. You know, plus Spirit has me like, I'm like a fucking cool, like, I don't know, man. I mean, obviously we're all the, you know, star of our own show, but I always think, man, this must be like some blockbuster movie that's like shown in the outer realms. You know, they got their, whatever their form of popcorn is, whatever, and they're like watching it. And they're like, oh, I wonder what, you know, Lulu's going to do this week or what she's going to say today. Like, I really feel that sometimes. It's really funny. I feel when they're really trying to help me. So, you know, we all have a path and purpose. You have to believe that and believe in yourself. There's nothing wrong with me saying that. It doesn't make me full of myself or conceited or any of this bullshit that they told us that if you believe in yourself, that's negative. No. It's just soul knowledge. I've always known when I was young that I had a greater purpose. I've always known I was supposed to do something. I just didn't know what exactly. And in the recent years, every time I start to like fall back where I'm like, maybe it was another life, like, and I'm just like trying to reenact that. Like, you know, maybe I was fucking Mozart and I think I'm going to be Mozart again, but it ain't going to happen in this life. You know, like, I'm meant to live like this. It's okay. Like, I'm okay with that, you know? And the Spirit would be like, no, like, you're right. Like, you got it. It's just not time. It's just not time. It's just not time. And divine timing has been like such a big thing for us. I feel like they want me to take a screenshot of that. So the divine timing is what we need right now, right? In each of our stories, and it's going to be different. So don't compare your story to anybody else's story. That's not what it's about. But if you have hopes and dreams, like, keep those hopes and dreams alive. Clap your heart out, Tinkerbell, right? Like, because we need your magic. We need you. We need you now more than ever. Drink some water. When I looked down, it was an hour and 7 minutes. It was 17. No, and look at what's happening now. I'm not doing that. I mean, I did smack it with my water, but now the wind, it's like, I feel like they're trying to like cleanse your space for you, or they're trying to, it almost feels like, you know, when like the bar's closing and they start flipping the lights, like, to get people to leave. It kind of feels like that. That's so funny. Okay, so this says, the ego and your intuition should work together to help you approach life through both logic and feeling. There is nothing in this life that can be accomplished with one. There is nothing in this life that can be accomplished with one or the other. Your intuition is your driver. Your ego is the car. Both are needed to get you to your destination. And it's also on page 18, which is the number 9. So it could be, I'm also getting the vibe that, like, for some of you, the 17 is like you're getting stuck in like last year's energy. Like, I feel like some of yours, because like last year was an 8 year and this year is a 9 year. And I feel like for some of you, or at least one person, you're stuck in last year's energy. It's almost like, you know, your wheels are spinning, but you're stuck in the mud and you can't get out. But you have to get yourself out, and you'll know when. But I feel like they keep sending you signs and breadcrumbs and all of these things, and you're either not seeing them because you're not ready, or you're seeing them but you're avoiding them because you're like, I'm not ready. But you know what? Sometimes we're not ready. That's like they're like, think of it like this. This is the analogy they're giving us. No, you don't ever want to, you know, some people are like, oh, if I pack an emergency bag, then I'm like saying that I'm going to be in a situation where I'm going to be in an emergency. Yes and no. I mean, you can't control everything. So if you live in a place that has high traffic tornadoes or high traffic hurricanes or high traffic whatever, you would be remiss not to keep an emergency bag of food, maybe a throwaway phone, you know, whatever you need, water, clean drinking water, you know what I mean? Like a towel, an extra set of clothes, an extra pair of shoes, whatever. Like, keeping that bag one in your car and like maybe one in your house. Because maybe you'll be in your car and you can't get to that bag. Or maybe you'll be in your house and you're like, oh, the bag's in my car, but my car's parked down the street and I can't get to my car now. And you know what I mean? Or maybe it's in a garage and now the garage is flooded or like whatever. But you know what I'm saying? It's like there's nothing wrong with having like something like that. It's different if you're like, you have that and then you have like 12 packs of toilet paper and 12 packs of, you know what I mean? And you're like ready for the end of the world. They're like, you know, there's a whole different aspect to that. And this is where they want us to use our intuition as well. I mean, it's interesting. Let's put it this way. Things have been coming into my orbit a lot lately about certain, you know, things, catastrophes, whatever. And I was working outside in the yard the other day and I happened to look up and I'm like, was that always there? And I just never noticed it, right? Because like on one side of us is like really pretty at the edge of the Olympic Mountains, but on the other side of us is the freeway. And there was a tsunami sign. And I was like, oh yeah, like, of course we're in a tsunami zone where we live, you know. I'm like, one side of me is the mountains and one side of me is water, you know, and it's salt water, it's seawater. And I was like, now I'm not on the ocean, right? Like, but I'm where I live in the Puget Sound. It's like, there's the ocean, but the ocean can come through the strait and the strait can come through the Hood Canal. And you know what I mean? And there's all these inlets everywhere. And, you know, so we're on an inlet and it's not a fucking joke. It's not a joke. Like that would be very severe. So, when I look down, it's 111.17. Holy shit. So that's what they're trying to say is that whether we like it or not, there's going to be a lot of shit that's going to happen on this planet. And all we can do is do our best to be prepared for anything that may happen. They don't want us to be in a fear base about it. They just want us to have, you know, if you can, trust me, you know, if you're not meant to have a backup plan, you won't. If you're not meant to have a backup bag, you won't. And then maybe it's because you won't have something and then somebody else will have something for you. And you know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason. But we're all learning to work as a community right now. But also, you know, there are some people who are like, me. I want to make sure I have mine. I want to make sure that me and my family are, you know, but that's also a protection instinct. I get it, you know. But single people who are like stashing like crazy stuff, I mean, that's interesting because that says a lot too. And I mean, I think a lot of things that are happening on the planet says so much about all of us individually, you know. So I knew that, oh my gosh, I knew there was one more. This was at the bottom when we started. What the fuck? Grab hold, allow the dwelling fire within the belly, awaken all that is. A mere glimpse, a delicate pull at the very roots, living in the alchemy of self. Wow, okay. So, which? Now, if you're new here, I feel like this wants to go here. I feel like if you're new here, there's at least one person here. You're either brand new and don't know you're a witch, or you have a hard time hearing somebody call you a witch. Because that did not want to sit up, and you do not like it. But I just heard, these are the 3 that came out, and I don't know if this is going to be for, oh, there's 4. So I don't know if it's going to be for, it may be for a picker reading. I have a feeling that's what's happening. So I'm just going to put them there, but they're kind of like, you know, maybe you have a black cat. Maybe you eat a lot of apples. Maybe you work with the owl and the crystal and herbs. You're like, what the fuck do you think you are? Now, I don't know if this is going to be a pick reading. I don't know. Just, you know, subscribe and all that good stuff in case. I'm going to keep them on the top, but they'll let me know later. They're having me turn over the deck, so I'm going to put that over to the side. But I kind of feel like that's what they're saying is like, what do you think you are? Or you play, you know, with unicorns, or you like, you know, stuffed animals, and like, you know, you're super playful and joyful. Oh, I just got the chills all over my body. They're like, I hate to break it to you, but you are a witch. Whether you like it or not, you are. But they're like, but love yourself. Oh my gosh, you guys, I almost opened up exactly to it. Because you know what? Witches hold wisdom and alchemy. Alchemy is magic. And look at 171. I was born in 1971. But it's also the number 9, and we're in 9 year. Look at number 17, 170 before it. Shut it. That's what I'm saying. Oh my gosh. I had a friend growing up, Brian Koenig. He was like, he he was one of the funniest people, had one of the funniest laughs I've ever heard in my entire life. I love Brian. I miss him so much. But whenever somebody would say something that was like just too much, he'd be like, shut up. We'd be like, no, I know. And you know how shut up kind of became that thing? He'd be like, no, shut it. Shut it. He would like go this whole thing, or if it was like a really big thing, he'd be like, shut it. You know? So it always makes me laugh. And I believe they were a witch too. And very, very, and I know he'd be okay with me saying this, I'm very gay and very proud. You know, I hope he's still married to his husband because they're an amazing couple. But I haven't seen them in years. We grew up together in Chicago, and then I moved to LA, and years later he ended up moving to LA. And I don't know if he still lives there. But anyway, a little shout out to Brian Koenig. Love you, Brian. But there's just some people on this planet that are really special. You know, speaking of, I mean, he like really helped me come into a lot of my stuff. There was also a friend of mine in high school. She was like I don't want to say a frenemy. I think we tried to be genuine friends, but I think so many people fucked with her that she had a hard time like trusting anybody. So maybe this is for you. By the way, I keep trying to make this light and they keep wanting to go dark. Like I'm like this. I'm like, yay. And we'll see if it goes back dark again. But I'm going to take a screenshot. But there's definitely something going on with the shadow, and maybe that's what it is. Like some of you are still in shadow, and that's okay. You know, if you're in the dark night of the soul, that's where you're supposed to be. Okay. You know, if you're watching this and you're like, I don't have the strength to do this, or I can't. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. That's why we have a whole year of the snake about shedding the skin. But the year of the dragon was a rough year for a lot of people, but it was also showing us like who we are and who we're not and what we need to let go of. Oh, that's they're saying. This one wanted to go back. Okay. Wow. Look at that. Let's put a little light on the subject, because here's the deal. When they talk about a white witch and a black witch, it's like I had to take a screenshot. It's just too cute. In my experience, it doesn't matter if you're a white witch or a black witch. I mean, I know someone would be like, it doesn't matter. No, what I'm saying is that like a witch is a witch is a witch is a witch. Whatever energy you are in is the energy that you're practicing with. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's all in the way you look at it. You know, witches, we come from the angel realm. We're here, you know, we're part of the earth. We're connected to the earth. A lot of Lemurians are witches, right? Because we were incepted, you know, and the inception of earth was part of our doing. We co-created this magic, you know, and we are here as not just the magic bringers or the way showers and all those beautiful phrases, but we are literally like here to say we've always been here. These guys said that we were bad, and some witches did go dark. They needed to. That was part of the process, right? Even some witches that are dark now. Today I was doing a spell, because I was like speaking it into being, but I was sending good energy to my government and to the White House, and, you know, and because when I was switching the money out, I just had like all these like epiphanies that were coming through, and all these things about time travel and like how they've been fucking with, you know, certain things. And I'm like, what, you know? And when I was looking at it and when I was seeing it, I was starting to understand the transmutation process of the snake this year, and like why this is all happening and going the way it's supposed to go. So a lot of people don't know this. I didn't know this either. But the White House was not always white. They actually painted it white because there was a huge fire that destroyed a great part of that, you know, of Washington, D.C., right? That a lot of it burned down. And when they were rebuilding, they tried to save as much as they could, but the things that they saved they were burned. So they painted it white so that they could, you know, and that's where the White House, now of course it's gone through a lot of facelifts since then, but since the Civil War, there's been a lot of things that have transpired, but it's all because of paint, because it was white paint. That's why. That's all they had. Nobody dyed it. It was just that they had white paint. And so that's literally, but it's interesting. It's the White House, but a lot of dark, shadowy shit's been happening on the inside. The obelisk is lined with fucking quartz crystals. You think that's an accident? No, because our forefathers knew. But over time, a lot of people with money and greed and power sold everybody a bad bill of goods, and now the witches are waking up. I've been saying, I'm like, it's when they start taking our freedoms away and other levels, that's when people are going to really start fighting back. I know that. I can feel it. That's what I'm saying. So we may see certain things or uprisings, and they may turn the power off to fuck with people and scare people. I mean, all these people who are learning to grow their own food and off grid, all that, like, I know, like, where I live, the community that I live in, there's like no way I would ever starve. It just wouldn't happen. I was in a community before that was like that, and like I didn't realize it until later. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so interesting. But I wonder, because those who are going for the shadow and the dark, I wonder what will happen. You know, like, will they find that they'll be like, you know, their food has been poisoned, or, you know what I mean? Like, just a lot of I just don't know. I don't know. And I don't want to fucking put shit out there, okay? I'm just telling you what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling. These could be things that could be going on in people's heads that haven't happened and will never happen. I don't know, right? Use your own intuition. I'm just saying that when I tap in, that's why I feel like Spirit doesn't have me look too much at the real world too much. Because if I look at it too much, I see too much. Because I can't unsee things. It's my natural gift. And it's like, once I see it, I can't unsee it. Once I feel it, I can't unfeel it. Once I know it, I can't unknow it. So, with that being said, the keywords are Wisdom, Alchemy, 171, and it says, grab hold, allow the dwelling fire within belly, awaken all that is, a mere glimpse, a delicate pull at the very roots, living in the alchemy of self. And this says, hello, beloved witch. You are the center of this card, your energy, your strength, your wisdom. A witch taps into the healing powers of the earth and the wisdom of the powers that be, as well as the energy within us all. A witch can move energy to create any life of choice. A witch knows how to see signs in everything around her. A witch uses her positions. Another one. I saw positions. Oh, and that could be anything, because I just saw, like, right, like, in the military, in politics, in spiritual, like, you know, I even saw sexual positions, right? Like, uses positions, but that's not the word. It says, actually, a witch knows how to see signs in everything around her. A witch uses her potions and spells to give healing and hope to all who seek her guidance, using her gifts for the good of all, to heal and nourish. When the witch appears, speak your truth, drink some water. When the witch appears, believe that you are wiser than you know, and the thousands of years of wisdom from the wise ancient ones are available to you now. If you are finding your path to magic, this card is confirmation that you should continue to explore your craft. If you are an experienced witch, know that it's time to dig even deeper. Perhaps step up as a priestess and start your own coven. This message is even stronger if you have pulled the healer card. So, you know, like, I like to read the reverse as well. So let's see. The reverse says, when the witch card is in reverse, know that you are more than capable of manifesting all that you desire, even if you have not had success with your spells in the past. My throat chakra is really, I feel like somebody's choking me. Yeah, it's like there's some things that need to stay in the past, but some things, maybe you're like, I just felt like I was really good at this, or I was really natural at this. How come I can't do, you know, I guess that's not my thing. If you still feel it, work with it. And either it's meant to move forward with you, or maybe it's something that once you work with it, maybe you think it, but then once you work with it, you're like, no, that's not my jam anymore. Make sense? Okay. That's really powerful. I felt like that was at least for one person. So it says, practice makes perfect, even in magic. A spell that didn't work doesn't mean you aren't powerful or on the wrong path. It could mean that you aren't ready for this spell at this time. You manifest what you are ready to receive. Consider working spells that require a smaller amount of effort, or working healing spells to clear out any baggage that may be keeping you from calling in the things you desire. Magic is alchemy, and the conditions need to be right to turn your spiritual lead into gold. Keep trying and you will succeed. And that's on 173, which is the number 11. Okay. So let's see. Do we want to pull any more cards? Okay. And let's see. Do we want to pull aside any cards from this for a pick a reading? or for any shorts or anything. No, it was just showing you like bam, 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 bam. Like these are all the things. Or maybe you just work with one, but they're like, you can work with all. You know, a lot of times, I know I was raised this way too. My mom would say, it wasn't just my mom. It was so many people around me, teachers, my boss, friends, family, you know, significant others. Pick one thing and just work on it. I'm like, yeah, but I don't, it's like I lose interest. Like I'll work on something for a while and I really love it. And then I'm like, meh. And then I'm like done with that. And then I go work on something else. And a lot of times it's not even about mastering that skill. It's just about bringing that skill into my awareness, or working with that skill again, or it sharpens by using this and utilizing this skill, it sharpens this skill. Does that make sense? So I feel like, you know, for some of you, it's time to revisit certain things, you know, practices. Oh, listen to that. Yeah, that's the wind chimes talking to you. So I feel like with that being said, I feel like that might be it. Do we have any more messages, Spirit? Do we have any channelings that would like to come through at this time? What pretty pictures. I'm taking another picture. It's just so pretty. Okay. Are we ready to wrap this up? Okay. Do we have any closing statements? I feel like it's like closing statements, closing arguments. Do we want to do any healing? Do you want me to pull any healing? No? You can heal yourself, by the way. Also, I don't know who this is for, but this could be for more than one person because, you know, on average, this is just the people, you know, the likes only show up, or I should say, the views only show up if you want to be seen. If you don't want to be seen, you know, it's like there could be hundreds of people who watch these readings. You know, we have 1,000+ you know, subscribers. There could be hundreds of people who watch these readings, but it might only say like 38 views. That's only for those who want to be seen. Other people, if they're incognito or whatever, it doesn't show up. It doesn't, it's just the way it works. So, or at least that's what it was told to me. So I don't know if that's the truth or not. But what I'm saying is that there are many people who are watching this. Okay. So if it's not your story and it's not your medicine, don't make it your story or your medicine. However, with that being said, I am hearing that some of you are spending way too much time and energy and money on other things and people and places and things to do the work that you are meant to do yourself. So, you know, maybe your healing is to get your hands on food, and you feel like, oh, I don't know how to cook right. They're like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Teach yourself. Find, you know what I mean? Like you name it. Everything is out there now. You know, people can look at the internet as a blessing or a curse. It's both, right? In both ways, if you look at it like that, because we need the negative and we need the positive. When I look down, it was 127.27, which 27 is 9. 27 is 9. You know, and today is a 9 number. Tomorrow is a 10, and you take off the 0. It's about new, right? Like, so what do you want to bring into your world? And the next week, what do you want to release? What do you want to let go of? What do you want to bring in? But stop paying people to do your work for you. Okay? You can heal yourself with Reiki, call in the Reiki energy. You can build your own boundaries and breath work. You can find things on YouTube University. You can find things online. I'm not saying that it's not good to work one-on-one with a teacher, but I feel like for some of you, like you're just relying way too much on other people. Oh, I'll just pay them, whatever, they'll do it for me. It's like, no, you have to do it yourself. You can pay somebody to do a cord cutting for you, but the only way it's going to really apply is to do it yourself. Why do you think I try and push you guys to look things up more? I'll put things, you know, like the angel number, but I don't put the meanings anymore. I'll put like a link to something, but that's for you to keep, you know, go follow that breadcrumb down that, you know, rabbit hole, whatever. But healing is an inside job. Don't rely on other people to do it for you. Okay? Because that is, I'm getting that like is kind of a no-no from spirit. Like some of you, they're like, you are way beyond that. Like, you know better. I'm getting the chills all over my body. They're like, you know better, you know better, you know better. They know you're tired. Then sleep more. And you know what? If you're tired, it's because you're being drained by people, places, and things that aren't meant to be in your orbit anymore. So by it's almost like you're throwing your money away because nothing's happening. You know, I may have told you guys this analogy before, but I had somebody who, when I worked at Psychic Sister, I loved it because I met so many people through there, and I'm so grateful. But and that kind of got the ball rolling for my spirit work and this channel, and I'm grateful. Don't get me wrong, will be eternally grateful. But the thing I didn't like was the accessibility, because people, you know, when I'd go in, especially because I was there not every week, but like maybe once or twice a month, sometimes. In like the summer, I was there every week, but after a while, I was like, I can't do this every week. I'm like, it's too much. It's too intense, you know, because I'm doing it in person and I'm doing it inside a store. And it was like in like a window that people can walk by. And of course, even though I put the, you know, the curtain there, it doesn't matter because I could still feel the energy going back and forth and back and forth. It was a great teacher about staying grounded and all that, but it was just overwhelming. And I would get frustrated when I'd come in and see the same people. I had to literally like have notes on my account when people would call to book with me. I would say like, if this list of people, tell them no. And they're like, but you have openings. I'm like, tell them no. I'm like, I'm not a fucking Zoltar machine. They have to do the work themselves. I'm not going to, I'm like, they're like, what do you care? Like, I'm like, I care because it's called integrity. It's like, I'm not going to keep taking people's money when they're not actually doing the work. You have to do the work yourself. You're a fucking witch. Do it yourself. If you don't know how to do it, figure out how to do it. Teach yourself. You can do this. Spirit wouldn't be so scolding with this energy if they didn't believe in you. If I didn't believe in you, if we didn't believe in you, we wouldn't be talking to you like this. You know, but it's to me too, right? Like, same thing. Like, because I was like, what kind of fucking witch am I that I can't even keep mice out of my own house? And then I realized, because I've said it for a long time, that the one place I believe that they're coming in from is a place that I cannot get to. And I cannot get there until things are done. And that particular place, I can't take apart myself. I don't know how. It's like in the engine, it's with the whatever, like, and I've said that, you know, to my partner. I'm like, I can't, like, that's something you have to do. So I can just keep them at bay as long as I can until the problem is fixed. But it will. It will eventually sort itself out. And just like you, this will eventually sort itself out. But you have to take action now. Use your intuition, use your natural witch gifts and abilities to move you forward and move you out of and away from the situations that are draining you. All right, you guys, that's all we have today. I'm just going to get another confirmation. Do we have any more? Do you want to say any more? Do you want me to channel any messages from crossover loved ones or ancestors at this time? They're like, you just did. They didn't have to get specific in names, you know, like, think about that person. If anybody came into your mind while you were in this reading, a grandparent, a family member, friend, whatever, they were here. And they say they love you, because I feel like there were many here. And a lot of them are from our ancestry. Do you know, I'll tell you one last thing. For some reason, I don't know why, but this is my last rabbit hole message. When I was like really trying to sort it out with, you know, because I've been like Alder and I have both been trying to break up with each other for almost 10 years. But at the same time, it's like, I know now, like, whether we want to be broken up or not, it's just not, sorry, not in this lifetime, not the way it's going to happen, not the way it works. You know, you guys signed on, this is the way things are going. We'll get there eventually, this year, I believe. But what made me laugh was when they started having me look at all the guys that have ever been super significant in my life, my significant other, and none of them were born on a Sunday. Some of them were born on the same days, or born on really cool days like Fridays, or, you know, Thursday, which is Sagittarius. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense, you know. But nobody on Sunday. And no one in my family or my friends that I know of, like, I don't know all of my cousins' birthdays or my aunts and uncles, you know what I mean? But like the people who were really significant in my life, who I celebrated their birthdays, I was like, for shit and giggles, I'm like, I just for shits and giggles, I just want to fucking check it out. So I was like, that's interesting. The only two people in my entire life, in my entire existence that I know of, in my very significant relationships, that were born on a Sunday or a Monday was Alder was born on a Sunday and my grandma was born on a Monday, a moon day, just like me. Very powerful. And then I was like, does that mean it skips like every other generation? You know what I mean? Because I was like going through my nieces and nephews and their birth, the days they were born on. I was just really fucking curious, you know, because they're all so powerful and gifted. And they're like, well, but everybody has magic and everybody has intuition. But some of you, yeah, you are more tightly bound and connected to certain energies. And my grandmother was so powerful and so witchy. She was definitely like more than just the matriarch. You know what I mean? Like she had such, like everybody went to my grandma for whatever, whether they needed coddling or whether they needed a stern talking to or whatever it was. She was just, you know, and I realized I'm my grandma now. You know what I mean? Like I'm like that oracle in the family, so to speak. So it was really powerful because, you know, my other people will die and whatever, but like when it comes to it, I have a feeling I'm going to be very old in this life and I'll be that crone that, you know, when my family's ready and when they're, you know, when the world changes and whatever, I'll be there waiting. And I feel like you guys, it's for you guys too. And for Alder, I was like, you know, I feel like a lot of people who are born on Sundays are very, very powerful energies as well. Very godlike, very, like Bruce Willis and Unbreakable, like natural superheroes. I feel like a lot of people born on Sunday are natural superheroes. So are you born on a Sunday or Monday? Anyway, feel free to comment below, but you can look it up. You just put in like, I was born December 13th, 1971, and I just put in day of the week. And it'll tell you the moon phase, all of it. It's really powerful. Everything makes a difference. It might be on your chart too, if you have your chart, you know. But all this shit makes a fucking difference. Stop acting like it doesn't. When I looked down, it was 136.17. Oh my gosh. And 36 is 9 and 17 is 8. So I will leave you with that. I love you so much. Until next time, please take really good care of yourselves and each other. Love yourself and love each other. And I'll see you at the next reading. All of my information's all over this channel if you'd like to subscribe, if you would like to donate, comment, like, all that good stuff. It definitely helps keep us going. And you can send me an email and there are links to all my stuff if it's in your wheelhouse to do so. And if not, just send a prayer my way for the karma. It's good karma. It's just good karma. It's really just about your karma. I love you, and my karma. It's about the exchange of energy. It's very real. I love you. I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh.